Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit, Brexit Britain, a country where the schools minister, that's the education minister, doesn't want your children to be properly educated. And you know it's true, because one of the Tory ministers once said they wanted to take books away from prisoners. Books away from prisoners. So they don't want your children to be educated. So, this is who these people really are. When the mask slips, it slips. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me. And a special thanks to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that signed up. So thank you so much for that. Go for all messages, answer as many as I can, but I will like all messages, definite. We've got Novak Djokovic here, who's refusing to be vaccinated, and he said, you know what, even if it means that he has to miss competitions, then as far as he's concerned, he's not going to be vaccinated. I said, well, you know what, that's completely down to him, because if he doesn't feel comfortable in taking a vaccine that is how old is it now? It's over a year now, isn't it, the vaccine? So it's probably what. I don't know. We're only 2 years into the pandemic, so the vaccine's got to be just over a year old, right? So yes, I mean, if he doesn't feel comfortable in taking a vaccine that's just over a year old, then that's perfectly acceptable, right? But obviously that means that he's not going to go to competitions. But I just think to myself, well, I don't see why. Yeah, why is it that he just can't be tested? Because vaccinated people can still pass the virus on. So I don't see why it is that he just can't be tested, and especially with this this new variant that's going about, this Omicron, right? With that variant now, right? Well, they're saying it's a lot milder, right? And right, people that are vaccinated that get that virus, virus, yeah, seem to it doesn't seem to have too much of a nasty effect on them, right? So I'd like to know how comes it is, that like people that are not vaccinated, right, there's all these restrictions on them, right? When from what the scientists and that are saying, yeah, at worst, if you pass the vaccine on to like a vaccinated person, right, it's not going to, they're saying now it's not really going to kill them. Obviously, most of them don't even end up in hospital, right? So I'd like to know how comes the unvaccinated are still getting such a hard time over this whole thing, because as I said, you can, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, you can still pass the virus on. Right, so I don't know if it's down to now. What the world is saying. Well, hold on, is it the world or is it just here? Well, what the world is saying, right? That if people are unvaccinated, right, then it's going to cost us. It's going to cost them more if you're going to hospital or whatever. That's the only thing I can see as to why they're keeping such tight restrictions on unvaccinated people. Because as I said, if you can pass the vaccine on, right, if you can pass the virus on when you've been vaccinated, then what is really the difference? That it's more that the unvaccinated person is saying, well, you know what, if I get the virus, I feel that that I might be, it might not have that effect on me that I end up in hospital. That's what a lot of your unvaccinated people are saying. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I don't know how to make this clear to people. Yeah, not everybody who hasn't had the vaccine, yeah, is an anti-vaxxer. Yeah, you've got to get that through your skulls. Not everyone is in that position. Some people, it's just too early for them to take the vaccine. Right, that's it. Right, some people are out and out anti-vaxxers. Right, they don't want to give their kids like the measles, mumps, and rubella. Right, some people are, there's some people out there like that. So you can't confuse those people, right, with someone, right, who thinks, well, you know what, I'm not ready to take a vaccine that's just been out for just over a year. Right, you can't, you must never confuse those two types of people. But as I said, right, I don't understand why it is that unvaccinated people, right, are being treated so differently, because you know, the virus can be passed on either way, right? And I don't think you're more likely to pass the virus on, right, if you're unvaccinated as opposed to if you're vaccinated. I don't think that I don't believe that is the case. So I don't understand how that's going. And in more COVID news, just the government over here is just getting ready to start charging us for COVID tests. I believe that's a part of the levelling up agenda, because I often wonder how else people was expecting to be leveled up. Because let me tell you this, right? Leveling you up, right, means putting cash ola into your pocket. That is what leveling up means. Right? Leveling up doesn't mean building a bloody sports centre. That would be nice to have the sports centre, but if they level you up by having a sports centre and you haven't got money to use it, then what? Yeah. Right, then what? They level you up by saying, what, we're going to put a load of affordable housing up here, but you haven't got the money to buy a house, then what? That's what I said. So the only leveling up thing, right, is money into your pocket, right? But I heard one of the Tory peers, that's one of the Tory lords, say the other day, the red wall people, right, all they're looking for is handouts. Really? So is that on your £325 that you get every day for being a lord? Is that a handout, or is that just like, or is that just for being you? Actually, that's what it is. Actually, it's just what the Tories like. That's just for being them. That's why they're giving that money. But it's not just Tory peers. That goes for all the peers. You know what I mean? For all the lords and the baronesses, right? That goes for all of them. Do you know what I mean? So even your Lord Sugar, right, can go and collect his £325 a day, because that goes for all of them. Right? So. So when these people are talking, that's another one. I didn't get his name, but when these people are talking, because there's another mask slipping again. The mask, it's down. Right? When they tell you, oh well, what, all you want is handouts. Right? When you've got the royal family living on socialism. I mean, they're living on socialism. Right? All of the, what you got to understand in this country, yeah, is that all of the true upper classes, they all live off of socialism. Okay, because they're given more than enough money from the state, right, to live on, and to live a very, very good life. Yeah, they're given more than enough money from the state for that. Right? So none of these guys, so all of these guys, right, are living on, the royal family. I mean, that's the biggest social product in the world. I mean, look at just look at the council houses they've got. Right, and all the council, all the council and the country owned the jewellery that they're given, plus the £87 million a year, and it amazes me how people just say, oh, well, the Queen, she has been an absolute professional. If you gave me £87 million, yeah, I'll be just as professional. I'll be more professional. Because in fact, you'd never hear from me ever. Right? I'd have nothing to say about nothing. If that's the role that you want me to play, then that's the role I'd play, and I'd do all the ceremonial stuff just as well as the Queen. Just with the black skin, that's all. Just just be doing it as a black person rather than as like as like a porcelain person. Do you know, I saw a story this morning, right, out of one of our police. I don't know which police force this guy had actually joined, right, but it was a black guy, right, and his face, and they'd put something white all on his face, right, and when I looked at that, I thought to myself, now I know the reason why black people don't white up, because it really looked really terrible. But this was probably an initiation for when he first started. So to make sure that he was one of the lads, right, they done him in whiteface. If you see the picture of it, I swear it's just like, it looks worse. It looks worse than like how the black and white minstrels used to look. Just really, really, just honestly, just. I don't know, and they wonder why we have, wonder why we have a problem in our police service. But the police service is just a reflection, right, of the people of the country. That's it. As with every other institution, it's just a reflection of the people in the country. So you're going to get a lot of racism. But obviously, the racism in the police force is that has to be looked at obviously a lot more, because those people have a lot of damn power. Well, they've got all the power. Now, Prince Andrew, overnight, Prince Andrew has settled his claim, her claim. She settled her claim with Prince Andrew. Right now, everyone's looking and saying, well, obviously, he's guilty, but this right doesn't actually make him guilty, right? Because in America, everyone settles. You don't go to civil courts. Everybody settles before you get there. So that's the reason. Obviously, the Queen and the Queen, Prince William, and Prince Charles would have been saying to him, "You settle this, get it settled." Right? It shouldn't have even gone this far. So just get it settled now. That's it, done. Get it over and done with, right? Because obviously, they probably might try and rehabilitate Andrew, and whether or not the British public will be ready for him to be rehabilitated, that's yet to be seen. Because in the first place, Andrew should have just told the truth. He should have went a bit more truthful, a little bit of lies, but something that people can believe. And he knew, obviously, once they got him on that stand, right, what he had said before on camera, right, he's got to be able to prove all of that. Right, it's one thing, going on like the Beeb and speaking, right, but once you raise your hand in a court of law, right, whether that's a civil court or if it's a criminal court, right, once you raise your hand in there, right, that's it, right. If you get found to be lying, that's called perjury, right. And if you want to know about perjury, right, just ask Lord Archer what happens if you perjure yourself. Right, because that's what happened. So what happened to Lord Archer, that's what would happen to Prince Andrew if he went and perjured himself, and then he couldn't, and then it actually come out, you know what, you've lied in court, mate, right. His ass could be thrown into prison for years, because the courts take a very dim view of perjury. So they're going to try and rehabilitate him. We'll see how we'll see how that goes. I mean, I don't know. Andrew must be so pissed about that picture, right? Because that picture is the thing that's really messed him up. That picture, right? Without that picture, right, he could have, he would have got away with it, right? And in the words of the villain in Scooby Doo, if it hadn't been for those pesky kids and that dog, I might have got away with it. Oh, you know what? I was watching the. I wasn't actually watching it. I just see a slight clip of the Northern Ireland Parliament. Right? I believe that might be Stormont. Right? But one guy was in there talking about the EU are colonialists. And I was like, what? Really? Are they? All right. I thought it was something that you had to join. See, I think he's getting his definitions of colonialism and something else mixed up, and actually joining clubs mixed up. Because if he wants to know about colonialism, all he has to do, because this will be the place, right? We know all about it because it's something that we've spread all over the world. But he's accusing the EU of being colonial and stuff. What? I didn't catch the whole discussion though. Sometimes it's not. When you don't catch the whole discussion, because actually, I was going to say he might have been saying some benefits about colonialism, right? But then I was thinking, but then there's no benefits to it. The only benefit would be to it, right, is if they could send me back in time with some machine guns, right? That would be the benefit to colonialism, so I could go and stop some stuff, right? And then we've got Brexit's shaved off £20 billion from UK exports in 1 year alone. And imports are also dropping. So, well, you did know that, you know, obviously remember these are things that they said that, you know, that they had on lock, that these type of nothing would change. That's this what, you know, I've been watching videos of all these guys, of, you know, of your Ian Duncan Smiths and your Tugan hats, and, you know, and your Reg Varneys, right? Zippy, all of them. I've been watching videos of all these guys, right? And Boris Johnson, and, you know, and Tin Lizzie Trust Pencil Neck, right? I've been watching videos of all these guys, right? Back videos from a few years ago, right? And Jacob Rees-Mogg, you know, he's always good fun, right? And you watch the videos of all these guys, right? And the stuff what they were saying, how, you know, the food prices are going to be lower, energy costs is going to be lower. So how come we just had the highest inflation figures this morning? Right, today is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or is it Tuesday? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? It must be Wednesday, right? And we've had the highest, right, inflation figures today, right? So I don't know where it is these guys are coming from, because it's the 16th of Feb, and today's just the figures that's coming today has been the highest. So remember last figures was the highest for 40 odd years or whatever it was. So these are obviously the highest again. They're not even giving the time scale this time, right? Because now it's too embarrassing to even give you the time scale of how high the inflation figures. Just, oh dear! But I'm quite sure that you knew exactly what you was voting for. That I'm sure of. Look, I'm over my time, but I want to go through this last story, right? Because Brexit. Right, there's been a huge jump in trade between Ireland and Northern Ireland. And, you know, the DUP are saying, well, we don't want none of that. Right? We don't want to be successful. That's what the DUP are saying. Right? We want to be unsuccessful. We want to be like England. Don't know. You know, I mean, the DUP, they are Brexiters. Right? So, well, actually, I believe the DUP, yeah, right, are just finding out, right, that actually they voted for something that they didn't actually really know what they was voting for. Even the DUP politicians, right? You know, I actually think, right, that our politicians, right, I think they was telling you the truth when they were saying, you know, that food costs are going to be lower, energy costs are going to be lower. I think it's just because they're stupid. Right, that they didn't actually realise, right, that what they were saying was just ridiculous. That's what I think. I think that they didn't really. I honestly think that, because I just think that, you know, because there's no way that this is a cunning plan, because not even Baldrick, right, could come up with this level of stupidity, right? So this is not a cunning plan. This is just the level of stupidity from our politicians, right? They actually believed. I'm telling you, if you put these guys on a lie detector, it would come up that you actually, when I said that, I actually believed all the stuff I was saying. I guarantee you, because I'm telling you, they didn't know, because the level of stupidity, right? That's the only thing that can explain it. Nothing else can explain it. And then there's your level of stupidity for voting for fools. You're voting for people like Liz Truss and Boris Johnson over someone like Jeremy Corbyn. Even now, you know, under Boris Johnson, right, there has been the most anti-Semitic attacks in this country, probably for over 60 or 70 years. But this is what happens when you vote for absolute clowns. Whole clown trot there. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm GMC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.